She was convicted for her crime. For many, she met her fate, but for the government, they got the best assassin to do their despicable job on that eve. Welcome back to Paramount Recapped. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. So, picture this. 4 junkies are just casually strolling down the street. Not a care in the world. One of them, this beast of a guy with no shirt on, is literally dragging some poor, unconscious dude behind him like it's nothing. Dude's crazy strong. Anyway, their brilliant plan? Break into a pharmacy. And not just any pharmacy. It's owned by the dad of one of the junkies, who, by the way, recently challenged his barber to a tic-tac-toe match while getting his hair cut. Yeah, real focused guy. The rest of the crew are getting antsy, telling him to stop screwing around. There's also a girl with them, Nikita, who's too busy zoning out to music, mumbling about how badly she needs a hit. Meanwhile, inside the pharmacy, the owner hears all the racket going down and, like he's been waiting his whole life for this moment, grabs his shotgun after quickly dialing the cops. The junkies crash inside, flipping over shelves and hunting for pills like a bunch of rats. Meanwhile, Mr. Muscles with no brain is more obsessed with a pair of sunglasses he found than actually helping. Suddenly, the lights flip on, bam. The old man stands there, shotgun ready, looking at them like he's about to go full Rambo. But then, he realizes one of the junkies is his own kid. The son tries to explain, begging for a little mercy, but things spiral fast. One of the other junkies, who's clearly high as a kite already, pulls out 2 guns and things go from bad to oh hell no real quick. Cops bust in, guns blazing, firing off submachine guns like it's the Wild West. The junkies fire back and somehow manage to kill 2 officers in the madness. Meanwhile, our shirtless wonder isn't helping anyone. Nah, he's just beating the crap out of a slot machine in the corner like it owes him money. Nikita, still jamming out to whatever tune she's on, doesn't even realize there's a full-blown war happening around her. She's completely in her own world. When the smoke clears, the cops start looking around and find Nikita just standing there, headphones still on, oblivious. She's so out of it she literally asks a cop for drugs. When he says no, she whips out a gun like it's nothing and blows the dude's face off. Moral of the story, kids, stay off drugs. They drag her in for questioning, and the detective she meets? Let's just say he's all about gender equality. He treats her just like he would any other suspect. He tries to get her to write down her name, but Nikita is not having it. Instead, she stabs him right in the hand he smacked her with. Now that's some hardcore quality. Eventually, she's put on trial for all the cops killed in the shootout. Even though she wasn't the only one there, they throw everything on her. She's sentenced to life, and that's when she really loses it, screaming and threatening to kill everybody in the courtroom. It takes like 10 officers to wrestle her down and haul her crazy, but off to jail. Fast forward a bit, and 2 government doctors show up at her cell. They're there to put her down with a lethal injection, like she's a stray dog or something. Nikita begs them to stop, but they jab the needle in any way. Except, surprise, surprise, instead of dying, she wakes up later in this bright, all-white room, super confused. In walks this serious-looking guy in a suit named Bob. He tells her, very casually, that according to official records, she's dead. Yup, the government erased her. Now, she belongs to them, part of something called the Center. They're offering her a deal, learn how to be a professional assassin. There's always room for one more at the cemetery. Bob gives her an hour to think it over. When he comes back, Nikita ain't feeling too cooperative. She jumps him, snatches his gun, and demands he get her out. Bob leads her through the building, past offices full of agency workers who look ready to shoot her on sight. They reach a door. She orders him to open it, but Bob hints that the agents would rather pump her full of lead than let her out. She totally breaks down, crying and panicking. At one point, she even tries to shoot herself, but Bob wrestles the gun away and shoots her in the leg to stop her from doing anything dumb. After that messy incident, Bob gets extra cautious. He creeps in her room like she's a ticking time bomb. With no real options left, Nikita agrees to the program. Though she's not convinced she'll be any good, they start training her. She learns how to use computers, fire guns, which, honestly, she was already kind of good at, and fight. Some karate expert tries teaching her fancy moves, but Nikita's a street brawler. She straight up slaps the guy across the face. Guess she teaches him something instead. Nikita also gets makeover lessons from a woman named Amon. The goal? Turn wild child Nikita into a smooth, elegant femme fatale. Bob keeps tabs on her progress, and when Nikita begs for a night out, claiming she's turning 20, spoiler, she's definitely older than that, Bob shuts her down. He doesn't trust her yet. Back to training. Her karate coach isn't taking any risks anymore. He just throws her around like a rag doll. Bob meets with the agency boss, who's getting real impatient. He tells Bob Nikita has 2 weeks to show she's worth it, or she's out permanently. Try to give her a little motivation. Bob brings Nikita a birthday cake and reminds her of the deadline. After he leaves, Nikita really starts thinking hard. She goes all in with Amon's lessons and finds out that Amon was once in her shoes, plucked from nowhere by the Center 2. Flash forward 3 years. Nikita's finally looking polished and deadly. Bob, marking her so-called 23rd birthday, decides she's ready for a little field trip. They dress up and head to this fancy restaurant. Nikita's all smiles until Bob hands her a birthday present, a fully loaded gun. Happy birthday. Turns out, tonight's dinner is actually her first real mission. She has to whack a foreign diplomat sitting across the room, then dodge his armed guards and make it to a getaway car that's only going to wait for 2 minutes. Nikita feels totally betrayed, but deep down she knows this is it. Sink or swim. She pulls herself together, strolls over to the diplomat, and pops him without a second thought. Then she bolts, running through the restaurant in her fancy dress. She follows Bob's directions, but ends up cornered in the kitchen. Armed guards close in, firing like crazy. Nikita keeps her cool, waits for her shot, and drops them one by one. Another guard tries to blow her up with a grenade launcher, but Nikita dives into the garbage chute and escapes like a boss. Soaking wet and pissed off, she makes it back to the center. Turns out, Bob knew the escape route was a trap. This whole mission was actually her final exam. She storms in and slaps him so hard he hits the floor, but Bob eventually calms her down, telling her she passed. She's officially out of training. Bob even admits he's gonna miss her. Nikita gives him a kiss that'll haunt him forever, and they go see the boss. The agency head signs off on her first official assignment. She's handed fake IDs, guns, and a whole new identity, Josephine. Nikita moves to Paris, setting up a normal-looking life. But behind the scenes, she's now a trained government assassin, ready for whatever they throw at her. So Nikita strolls into the grocery store, having no clue what she even wants to buy. She's just wandering around, right? Then she notices another woman shopping, and instead of thinking for herself, she literally grabs 10 of whatever that lady is picking up, not even thinking about it. After filling her cart with all sorts of random stuff, she heads to the checkout line. That's when the cashier starts laying it on thick, flirting with her and making her grin like a teenager who just got noticed by her crush. Her 30-year-old self is absolutely loving the attention. Can't stop smiling for a second. Long story short, Nikita ends up inviting this cashier dude, Marco, over to her place for dinner. Bold, right? Fast forward a bit. Things escalate real quick once they're back at her place. Nikita's all over him, and let's just say things get very physical. Whatever happened there must have been next level, because next thing we know, Marco is bringing her breakfast in bed, calling her princess, treating her like absolute royalty. It's like he's already head over heels and barely knows anything about her. Despite all that cozy stuff, Marco's a little suspicious. He realizes he's never seen any family or friends around Nikita. It's just her all the time. Anytime he asks about it, she completely shuts him down like, nope, not talking about it. Then her phone rings. It's her secret organization calling. Time for her first real assignment. They send her to a bar where some shady-looking guy tells her to get to the basement of a nearby hotel. She heads over, and at the door, a man points a gun at her. Not exactly a warm welcome, but once she gives her special code name, he lets her through. Downstairs, a bunch of other agents are already gathered. She's told to slip into a maid's uniform and wait. After what feels like forever, they get a room service order from their target. The agents rig explosives inside the dinner plates and get everything ready. Nikita's job is just to deliver the food. No big action moment or anything. She gets up to the room, hands over the food to these scary-looking guards, gets a tip, and is sent back on her way. Seriously, that's it. Her first mission was basically being a glorified Uber Eats driver. Could have hired a regular person for that. Anyway, Nikita gets back to her apartment and gets a call from her boss, Bob. He's hyped, congratulating her on her successful mission. Feeling good, she invites Bob over for dinner and introduces him to Marco, calling him her Uncle Bob. Real subtle. The three of them sit down, and Marco, being the sweetheart he is, tries to ask Uncle Bob about Nikita's childhood. Bob, without skipping a beat, starts spinning this wild, totally fake story that even Nikita's sitting there thinking, Who is this guy even talking about? Marco, bless him, believes every word of it. To top it off, Bob hands them 2 plane tickets to Venice as an engagement present. Yeah, full send. Nikita and Marco are thrilled. They jet off to Venice, doing all the cute touristy stuff, boat rides, sightseeing, all that romantic stuff. But of course, it doesn't last long. Back at their hotel, just when things are about to get steamy, the phone rings. It's the center. No fun allowed. They got a new mission for Nikita, and they're not taking no for an answer. She sneaks into the bathroom, where parts of her rifle have been hidden. Piece by piece, she assembles it following the center's instructions. Then she smashes open the window, sets up the rifle, and waits. She's supposed to take out a target, but they don't even know who yet. She's just aiming at a group of 3 people and waiting for further orders. Eventually, a woman shows up, and boom, she gets the signal to take her out. Nikita pulls the trigger without hesitation. She barely finishes cleaning up the mess when Marco comes into the room, clearly frustrated that Nikita's been acting super distant. After he leaves, Nikita has a full-on emotional breakdown, crying her eyes out. Later, Nikita meets up with Bob, and she's seriously pissed. She's tired of the lies and the dangerous games. Bob, acting like nothing's wrong, hands her a new mission. She's got 6 months to complete it. The target this time is an ambassador, but she's not supposed to kill him, just steal some important documents he's hiding. She even gets to pick her own crew for this one. Teaming up with another agent, Nikita starts scouting the ambassador's place. The plan? Use charm instead of violence to get close to him. When she follows him to his mistress's art gallery, Nikita fakes being a friend of the mistress and an art dealer herself. She's all casual and flirty, dropping his guard instantly. They get into a private room where she makes him a drink. What he doesn't know is that another agent is hiding out nearby and spikes the drink with pills. Just when he's about to sip it, Nikita pulls a gun on him, forcing him to drink it. As he passes out, the hidden agent, who kind of looks like the ambassador, starts dressing up in his clothes, getting ready to impersonate him. But then chaos hits. The center finds out that the ambassador uses a secret code word with his security. And guess what? They don't know it. Plans falling apart fast. They decide to send in a cleaner, someone to eliminate the guards quietly. Enter Victor, who's basically Leon from The Professional, just with a different name. Victor shows up, takes out the first guard with no problem. Another guard's watching the elevator when he suddenly gets gunned down. Victor's dragging bodies around like he's taking out the trash. But here's the kicker. Nobody told him the real ambassador was just knocked out, not dead. So Victor starts pouring acid on him like it's no big deal until the ambassador starts twitching. Nikita is horrified. She tries to stop it, but the other agent panics and pulls a gun. Bad move. Victor shoots him dead in a second. Now it's just Nikita and Victor. She wants to call it in, but he pulls a knife on her and demands she finishes the mission. Thinking fast, Nikita dresses up like the ambassador herself. Don't ask how she pulls that off, and Victor drops her off at the ambassador's office. Somehow, she bluffs her way through, heads straight to the safe, and starts snapping photos of all the important documents. Meanwhile, outside, a guard notices Victor's car parked suspiciously and comes to check it out. Victor casually shoots him dead too. No hesitation. Inside, Nikita's about to wrap things up when a giant wolf dog busts in. She freezes. They have a literal stare down before Nikita bolts out the door. She ditches the dog and somehow makes it outside without triggering an alarm. She calls Victor for a pickup, but before they can leave, another man comes to check on the ambassador. Victor, being Victor, shoots him too. Now, the security finally realizes that something's wrong. Guards rush in with guns blazing. Victor manages to shoot a few of them, but eventually, he gets lit up with bullets. Somehow, despite being filled with holes, Victor gets in the car, floors it, and smashes through a wall to escape. But he doesn't get far. At a stoplight, he dies behind the wheel. Nikita, heartbroken, simply walks away. She gets home, takes a shower, and crawls into bed with Marco. That's when he drops a bombshell. He knows what she's been doing. He knows everything. And even knowing that, he still wants to be with her. He loves her no matter what. Nikita is overwhelmed, crying all over again. But deep down, she knows staying would only put Marco in danger. She decides to leave both him and the center behind and disappear for good. When Bob finds out, he shows up at Marco's place with a squad of agents. Marco pleads with him, begging to let Nikita go, saying she's done enough. Bob points out that Nikita still has those crucial documents. Marco, without blinking, hands over the documents. No tricks, no drama. The two men sit in silence for a moment, both clearly realizing they'll never see Nikita again, and both silently mourning the loss of her in their own way. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more.